Hey guys, Courtney here with another Wellness Wednesday yoga class designed to help you find your calm. Um, Today we're going to focus on getting grounded, relaxing, and moving with these soothing hip opening sequence movements. So hop into something comfy, maybe pop on some tunes. We'll go ahead and get started. Hey friends, we're going to begin in a comfortable seated position. Go ahead and wiggle into it. If this isn't comfortable, you can always add some bolsters or blocks underneath the knees or a little blanket underneath the buttocks. Just finding what feels good here. We're just going to take a moment to recenter before our short hip opening sequence. As we begin to recenter, we might sit up just a bit taller, shoulders relaxing. Really grounding those sit bones down onto the mat. Maybe noticing any chirping birds, maybe the sounds of your house around you or wherever you're at. And as you sit up nice and tall, you notice how your spine stacks upon itself, shoulders relaxing. So you breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. All right. Once you find yourself centered and grounded, after a few moments of checking in with your breathing and the body, we're just going to go ahead and begin by placing the right foot slightly in front of the left and just sitting up nice and tall. We're just beginning to open up the hips here. Hands might come behind you or they might rest on the knees. You notice my front foot, my right foot in this case, my right hip is coming up just a little bit. I'm just allowing it to try to relax down towards the mat. I'm allowing a nice little hip opener here. Sitting up nice and tall, hinging with that hip, the midline. We're just going to go ahead and place our hands slightly in front of us. As we do so, we might notice a slight stretch on the hip here. We're just breathing into it, remembering, in yoga it never should hurt, should feel good, finding, nice gentle stretch for the day. As we breathe in and out, you might notice a deeper stretch here. You might decide, hey, I want to deepen it just a bit more, maybe walking that hand slightly farther forward. As you do so, you want to make sure that your sit bones are really pressed down onto the mat. You don't want them coming up. That can cause injury. We really want to notice how those sit bones ground down onto the mat. As we breathe in and out, we might begin to relax a little bit more, maybe finding a deeper stretch. We might walk ourselves a little farther forward. Maybe you're super flexible in the hips and you're coming down onto those forearms. Maybe you're killing it today. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just feeling a little stiff. That's okay. We're just coming to whatever's best for us. Breathing into it. Nice gentle hip stretch as we breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Slowly sitting back up nice and tall from whatever type of hip stretch you had today. We're going to do the opposite side. Bringing the left foot slightly in front of the right. Sitting up nice and tall, really noticing maybe one side was a little bit more flexible than the other today with the hips. We're going to work on it. We're going to ease into it, really working on these hip openers, grounding the sit bones, really noticing how they press down into the mat. Once you feel nice and grounded, you might press those hands down in front of you on the mat, maybe walking yourself a little farther forward. Breathing into it, noticing a little bit of a deeper stretch on that left hip, maybe wrapping around the buttocks with that stretch, and just listening to what's best. You might come maybe a little bit farther forward, still keeping those sit bones really grounded on the mat, maybe coming onto the forearms, just coming to whatever's most comfortable for you, allowing to feel that stretch as you begin to calm the breath, as you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And sitting back up nice and tall. We'll go ahead and extend both legs nice and long on the mat. Coming into our staff pose. Maybe shaking those knees, maybe wiggling into it. Sitting up nice and tall. We're just going to go ahead and grab that right knee in, giving a little hug into the body, giving a little love, and then placing that right foot over, wrapping around the left thigh, coming to place it on the mat. We'll hug that right knee with the left arm. Left arm is wrapped around this knee. Right arm comes behind us on the mat as we look over the right shoulder. Nice gentle twist. We're not cranking the body. That hand's just there for support, keeping that nice left foot flexed as we do so. Just a nice gentle twist here, easing into it, really grounding down as with the buttocks as we sit up nice and tall, allowing the shoulders to relax as we do so as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, gently coming out of our twist. We're going to go ahead, placing our hands slightly behind us. We're going to allow that right leg to fall, making a figure four with the legs, and slowly bringing a nice bend to the left leg, leaning slightly back. We're going to have a nice little hip opener here, slightly leaning back, not collapsing into these arms, but just using them there for support, allowing the hip to fall. Nice hip opener here as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. We'll gently come out of that figure four, stretching out the right leg nice and long, and taking that left leg around the thigh, placing that foot down onto the mat. We'll hug that left knee with the right arm, left hand behind us as we look over the left shoulder, keeping that right foot flexed. Nice twist here, not cranking the body, just easing into it, hugging in that knee as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, gently coming out of our twist. We'll allow that left knee to fall, making a figure four with the legs, and slowly the hands come behind as we add a slight bend in the right knee. Maybe it's a super bend, maybe it's more gentle, allowing that left knee to fall, making that figure four reclined, figure four position, not collapsing into the arms, allowing a gentle stretch here, shoulders relaxing as we breathe into that hip, as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. We can go ahead and release, stretching out both legs nice and long, maybe shaking them, loosening them up. And then bringing the sole of the right foot into the left thigh, making almost another figure four with these legs here. We'll come into a one-legged forward fold, sitting up nice and tall. We're hinging at those hips. If this knee that's off to the side just isn't coming down, you might add a block, place it under. You might allow it to come a little further out from the thigh, from the body. Finding what feels good, sitting up nice and tall, hinging at those hips. We'll lower down nose towards toes, keeping a nice long crown, nice long body, hinging at those hips as we breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Sitting back up, nice and tall. This time we're going to grab that ankle with the opposite hands, left hand, right ankle, right arm around. As we rock that hip side to side, another great hip opener that I often use in a lot of my classes. Just loosening up that hip as we rock that hip joint side to side, maybe doing a circular motion here, further working it out. Once again, we're still easing into it. We're not jabbing into different weird positions in anything we do today. If you haven't already, go the opposite direction. Continue to do a circular motion with the hips, working them around, loosening them up. And we'll add our first challenge of our hip opening practice. Maybe grabbing that big toe or the ankle or the calf. We'll stretch out the leg nice and long. Maybe putting that left hand down on the mat for support. And we'll bring it out to the side. A little stretch before bringing that right leg back out to the mat. Maybe take a quick little shake. And opposite side. Left foot comes into the thigh here, making that figure 4 with the body. Sitting up nice and tall once again. That foot can be closer in or farther out. You might add that block underneath the knee if it's necessary to really get your full range of motion. Just listen to what your body needs. And sitting up nice and tall, we'll hinge at those hips. Nice, long crown of the head. We walk ourselves down, forward fold, meeting wherever we're at. Just enjoying a nice gentle stretch on the hip. We do our forward fold here as we breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. Sitting back up, nice and tall. We'll go ahead, opposite side, right hand, left ankle, left arm around the knee. We'll rock our legs side to side, nice little hip opener here, really grounding down the sit bones as we do so. Keeping our core engaged, we're opening up that hip joint. We might add a circular motion here, really further opening that up, really creating a full range of motion as we do so. If we haven't already, we can go the opposite way. Really loosening it up. And then we'll add our little challenge here, grabbing the big toe with the opposite hands or outside the foot, ankle, bottom of the hands, whatever's best for you. We'll stretch out that leg nice and long, maybe using that hand for support down on the mat or stretching it out to the side. And then we'll bring the leg out to the side, a little challenge, a little balance, stretching, and then back down to the mat. Maybe shaking the knees. We'll do a full forward fold here. This time, after we found our nice tall staff pose, nice tall crown, we're going to breathe our hands up towards the sky, just finding length here. And on an exhale, we're going to reach those arms out nice and long, hinging at those hips, coming only as far as is comfortable. Maybe you're super flexible, maybe your hands are down here, maybe they're at your toes. Just allowing them to relax. Allowing the head to relax after that hinge of the hips, staying here for just a few cycles of breath. We breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, sitting back up nice and tall. And we're going to come back onto our backs. So slowly coming down onto our back, we'll add a little back massage before we fully finish our hip stretches today. So hugging in the knees into the belly, we'll rock side to side, forward, back. Give ourselves a nice little massage here. Really allowing the body to relax as you do so. And then coming to the center of our backs, we're going to go ahead and allow the arms to come out to our sides. And we are going to allow the feet to come down onto the mat. And we're going to make a figure four with the legs, this time supine on the mat, crossing the right foot over the top of the left thigh, making a nice figure four here. You might allow the hips to relax. We'll stay here for just a few cycles of breath before adding a variation as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And we'll add a variation here, eye through the needle. So we're going to add a bind by gently lifting that left foot up off the mat, keeping that leg bent. We'll reach those arms through, right arm through that needle, that little hole between the figure four, and wrapping those fingertips around the back of the thigh. We're making a figure four once again, still with our legs, but this time we are bringing that thigh just a bit closer to the body. Your head might stay down on the mat, just allowing a nice gentle hip stretch here, or you might activate the core by lifting the head up, applying a little belly heat here, not placing any strain on the neck as we do so, still keeping a nice long crown, coming into whatever's best as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Go ahead, releasing those fingers, allowing the left foot to come back down onto the mat. We're going to add another nice gentle twist for our practice, and we're going to allow those knees either to stay in that figure four or cross just a bit further with that right leg over the top of the left. We're going to bring those knees just gently over to the left side of the mat, allowing the knees to fall, coming only as far as is comfortable, allowing the hips to raise as they come down. Nice lower twist here for the body as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, gently bringing those knees back up, opposite side. Our right leg is down on the mat. Left ankle crosses the top of the right thigh, making a figure four with the legs. Allowing that hip to fall, not pushing, but just allowing it to relax, opening up the left hip as we breathe in and out. We'll stay here for 2 more cycles of breath before adding our variation. And gently lifting that right leg up off the mat, allowing that right knee, that right leg to stay bent. We'll take those hands, threading our needle, left arm between the thighs, right arm around the outside of the right thigh. We might clasp our fingers if that's available to us, coming into eye of the needle. Nice bind here, nice little stretch, deeper stretch on the hips. Coming only as far as is comfortable, maybe adding a variation here. So we breathe in and out. We might notice a deeper hip stretch, allowing the body to relax. Then releasing the fingertips will allow the right foot to come back down to the mat. We'll come either allowing these hips to stay as they are, we'll add our little twist, or you might add a deeper twist further bringing that left leg over the top of the right thigh, whatever's best for you. We'll allow those knees to fall to the right side of the mat. Another nice gentle twist, allowing the hips to come up as we do so, the buttocks. We'll stay here for just a few cycles of breath as we breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. And we'll gently come back to the center of the mat, coming out of our pose here. Once we're out of our pose, we're going to go ahead and grab that right big toe or the ankle, whatever's best for you, and try to bring a nice straight leg here, trying to bring the toe towards the head. If this is not accessible to you, you might use a band, a belt, or you might just grab the ankle or the calf, just trying to bring that leg just a bit closer towards the head. This is a great stretch here, really feeling it the whole back of the leg. We'll stay here for just a few more cycles of breath. So we breathe in and out, in and out, adding a slight bend in the knee. We'll grab that big toe or the outside of the foot or the ankle. We're just going to allow the foot to come out to the side. Nice stretch, almost like we did after we had rocked our hips side to side. Just allowing it to fall. Like I said, if big toe is not accessible to you today, you might keep the back of the calf here behind the leg. We'll go ahead, hugging that right knee back into the body, giving it a nice little hug, maybe giving a rotation of the ankles. And then opposite side. Right leg extends, left knee comes in towards the body, and we're going to grab that big toe, the outside of the foot, the ankle, the bottom of the calf, and we're going to stretch that leg nice and long, bringing it towards the body. You might grab a belt, really pulling that foot, the toes towards the head, just coming into whatever's most comfortable, really engaging the whole back of the leg as we do so. A little variation here to deepen the stretch. We can go ahead adding a slight bend in the knee. We'll grab the big toe outside of the calf, whatever's best. Stretching out the leg nice and long. We'll bring it out to the side. Really further opening up the hip. Once again, if this is not accessible to you, your hips are really feeling tight today, that's okay. Just coming into whatever variation is best. And then hugging that knee back in towards the belly, giving it a little love, maybe a quick rotation of those ankles, just finding some love. We'll go ahead and release, coming into a supine cobbler's pose, allowing the soles of the feet to come together. Our knees come out to the sides. Hands rest on the belly or on the hips or maybe down on the mat. If this is not comfortable, the feet might come in closer to the body or further out, just allowing the hips to splay out to the sides. Nice and controlled hip relaxation. We'll stretch here, really grounding the body down onto the mat, the back of the body down onto the mat as we do so. Enjoying a nice, gentle stretch as we breathe in and out. In and out. In and out. We'll go ahead, closing our legs like a book. We'll windshield wiper those knees side to side, giving a quick full stretch here.
A little counter stretch after all those hip opening poses, our cobbler's pose. And then yogi's choice, you might decide, hey, I'm really ready for Shavasana. I really need to take a few extra moments to de-stress and really get grounded down on the mat. Go ahead and do so. Or if you're feeling like you're really fully stretched and ready to get moving and grooving with the day, you might go ahead rolling up into an easy seated position. So thank you guys so much for joining me for a nice hip opening sequence to help de-stress and kind of get those hips stretched out and beating any stress that you might hold there. So thank you for joining me. Hope to see you guys next time. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll go ahead and breathe in nice and tall. One last big inhale together. And on an exhale, we can bring hands to heart center. Thank you once again, guys. Namaste.